real close and focus.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We have Chelsea Gray joining us, and we'll start this off with Jackie Powell, then throw to Nick Hamilton.
Hey, Chelsea, thanks so much for being here. So I asked Dawn this idea regarding how a stage like this in the Olympics can really put WNBA prospects on the map. I mean, you have Rupert from France, who the Aces drafted. You know, she's going out there for France. And then you've got Jisoo, you know, current teammate for Korea, who had quite a performance in her first game against Spain. So I'm curious as to how you think, substantial performances from prospects like those two in Olympic competition maybe might change both of their career trajectories and the W moving forward.
There's a lot of eyes on the Olympics, you know, so from a fan standpoint, you have an opportunity to see them play a little bit more with their national teams. You know, Jisoo, I was so proud and looking at her and playing. We had practice, or else I would have watched the whole game. But she was, you know, doing what we see every day in practice, and so excited for her to be here and experience the Olympics as well. But I think that people that's played FIBA basketball, you know, they're a lot more comfortable, and you get to the WNBA and it's like, okay, these are a different set of rules, different philosophies, and like it's kind of like a learning curve. But being here in the Olympics is kind of like at home a little bit more, and I hope they take full advantage of it and be confident and strive for greatness.
Thanks so much, Chelsea. I appreciate that.
Nick Hamilton.
Hey, Chelsea. Being that this is your, first time being in the Olympics, obviously you worked extremely hard to get to this point. All of you have basically. But what are some of the advice or some of the good wisdom that you've been able to acquire over the course of time that helped you to prepare for this time and this moment on this stage?
Well, one thing is that you're here for a reason. Be confident. Everybody's going to the same goal, to have that gold around your neck. And so everybody can play. You have to play it like it's your last. You don't know when there's going to be opportunity to be another Olympics. I mean, you look at some people that was hoping in the year of 2020 to be at the Olympics, and it gets pushed back another year. Like, you just never know. Injuries, career paths, like you just never know. So just taking full advantage of it, be in the moment, but play like it's your last and have fun doing it. This is experience that a lot of people wish they can be in your shoes. So you have to do it right. You have to play with confidence and do it the right way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle Vopel, and then we'll go to LaChina Robinson.
Hi, Chelsea. People, I think, talk a lot about point guards and coaches, a lot of whom were point guards, almost having that sort of communication that happens almost non-verbally. I wonder, can you develop it that quickly with somebody like Dawn, that you guys already sort of think a lot alike? And if so, what's that been like to work with her?
It's been a cool experience from the point guard perspective. I remember this one time in an exhibition game. I think we were actually playing Nigeria, and we were at the free throw line, and she's yelling my name. She's telling me, I look back, I said, all right, called it. And then I took it out, and it was a press break. So, and she just laughed. She's like, oh, all right then. So it's kind of been a little bit of this and that. We have fun with it, but we're going towards the, common goal. But she puts little nuggets in my ear in between possessions throughout practice. So it's been a good experience. I'm learning a lot.
Do you feel like there's almost a shorthand a little bit between point guards, if you will? Not saying that isn't the case with other players, but that point guards kind of understand each other kind of very specifically?
What do you mean?
It's sort of like the way you guys know how to, like you said, you kind of could think of what she was going to say even before she said it, that you kind of get that connection, almost have a feel for, do you think similar in some ways?
I think point guards naturally kind of feel the flow of a game, like who needs to touch is what, what's been flowing, what feels good, and you're constantly at the top. So you're reading and you're seeing almost everything a lot of the time. And so during those moments, you're like, okay, we need this type of action. We need to post up here on this side. We need to pin down on this side. And it's just about flowing into those actions and getting used to, putting different people in different spots. But it's all about the flow of the game, who's had a hot hand, who hasn't touched the rock in a little bit. So just kind of figuring that out and having that type of communication is key.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Luciana, and then we'll go to Rafiq.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hi.
Just curious, and this was just a random observation of mine, but I remember you guys were headed out maybe to play Australia in Vegas, and the team was coming out and you and Sue were in the front, and it looked like she was just dropping all kind of information and you were just sucking it up. I'm just curious, like, how much information has she shared with you? Like, have you kind of just been tagging along behind her, trying to learn? Are you guys spending extra time together? This just may have been a one-time situation, but I'm just curious if you've tried to, just connect with her to learn outside of practices.
We've talked. I mean, we've had conversations before even come to the Olympics. I mean, when we were doing the program before, back in 2020, like we would hang out, have conversations, like just appreciating, conversations and having a basketball mind like that and a high basketball IQ, it's priceless. So being around that throughout practice, like we're often guarding each other. And so like, we'll talk about like in the midst of 20 seconds, like, okay, that's the read, or we can do that, or something is happening all the time, I feel like. And so those are just those moments. I can't remember that time what you're talking about when we were talking. We might've been, I don't know, it could have been about anything, honestly.
Yeah, I remember you guys were at the front of the group. And then I'm just wondering, like, where do you, now that I feel like you really established yourself as, one of the best point guards in the world, where do you feel like your game is different in the way, in the style that you play the point guard spot?
Well, first of all, my height, blessed, thank you for that height. But I think that, a lot of point guards can pass the ball. I mean, you talk about point guards in the WNBA, you talk about Sue, you talk about Sloot, like the ability to pass the rock, right? But I think it's my height and my ability to see over the defense for shot making ability and being able to pass. But I think IQ wise, like I just want to be better every single time. And so, you have good players, you have players that get the job done, but there's always a next level. And I think that's what I appreciate so much about Sue, that she's just, every time you think it's like enough, like, all right, she got this championship. Okay, let me go to the bubble and get another championship. Like, it's just like she strives for greatness all the time. And that's what I appreciate. And so I think where I differ is my, playmaking ability at the height that I am. And so I'm not the quickest and, fastest player. So I work on angles, being able to see over things. And I just kind of had to adapt my game that way because, I'm not busting speed past everybody when I play. So it's just a different look and different speed and focus that I play with.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Thank you.
And Rafiq, take us home.
Hey, Chelsea, have you had a chance to check out your two Aces teammates in the 3-on-3 tournament? And if you had, what are your thoughts on that? And how does that motivate you to put in that work for your USA team?
They put in work. They're doing great. I know Plum, she had 12 points last time. Like she hooping. So I'm super proud of her. Jackie, she came on late, but she's doing her job, doing what Jackie does. The silent assassin is what I call her. So I'm super proud of them. I hope they bring home the gold. They're taking care of their bodies. They're playing every day. So that's a different type of beast. So definitely appreciate that and super proud of them and what they're doing.
If you had a choice to choose between the 3-on-3 and the 5-on-5, which one would it be?
I mean, I'm here, Anna. Gotta be 5-on-5.
Appreciate your insight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Chelsea.
Appreciate it.
Area